And let me talk a little bit about Yu Nu Jian. This is not really the proper outfit for Yu Nu Jian. It's a good outfit for Shigao though. So wouldn't it be great if I were also had assistants for a quick change? For every single herb. I always want to have boots. Yu Nu is more of a dominatrix. Yu Nu wears black and white. Yeah. Yu Nu is an herb that goes to the lung and the kidney and to the stomach, like tertiarily. So Shigao is a Yangming herb. It's really an earth and metal herb. Yu Nu annemarrhena is metal and water primarily, and some stomach as well. Both of these herbs are massive heat-clearing herbs. Heat in an element, heat in an organ system, basically is the dark side of yang. The difference between yang and heat is that yang is heart-centered and heat is not. Like, for instance, in earth, yang is appetite, is hunger. And heat is greed. Ah! And in water, kidney yang is bravery. And kidney fire is reckless ambition. Kidney yang is steadfastness of will. Kidney fire is willfulness. And so through the other elements, where in wood, liver yang is assertive, but liver fire is aggressive. And what am I leaving out? In the heart, heart yang is configurative and creates order. And heart fire is controlling and tyrannical. Lung yang creates a sense of meaning in life. And lung fire creates fanaticism. Am I making sense here? Yeah. So generally speaking, if there's fire in an organ system, there's what the yang would have been doing, but the dark side is now doing it. Out of control, not in service to the heart. So we've got hunger, but not in service of the heart anymore, until the herb helps bring it back in service of the heart. And Yu Nu annemarrhena is fire in the lung, fire in the kidney, and fire in the stomach. So we have fanaticism and deep, deep, deep desire that is willful desire. I will. Remember, this is also when we spoke about it a little when we were talking about annemarrhena, philodendron, 6-flavor Romania, with the like dinner by 6 kind of quality. The Huang Bai is more grungy in that formula. This is really much more clean. It's very clean. It's very dry. Yu Nu is kind of wasting desire, the kind of desire, it's a very sexual herb. So this herb tends to be more, the hunger is for food, but when you combine it with Yu Nu annemarrhena, you've got to have it. And there's that same kind of, the same way that with food and hunger, there can be that kind of blinding obsession, like food, no other thought, move the objects that later turn out to be people out of the way, go for the food. There's very frequently the same sort of effect can happen with sexuality as well. It's like brain taken over by desire, not thinking about anything except the cleanness of metal and the relentlessness of water. I want what I and like it's almost a hijack. There's this way in which is like the black, dark leopard of desire, and you can feel it. Like here, it's not so much the forehead, but like bladder 1 and bladder 2, those eyes, they will. I actually see it, and there isn't one of those in here, but there are students who have, because sexuality and knowledge have a lot in common. It's called the water element. Many people say to have knowledge of. And there are a lot of students who have a deeply sexual relationship with data. You must have met people like this, where it's like data is like the things that you know. It's like, ooh. When you learn that, it's like, do you remember? It's like, and when you meet somebody who knows that kind of thing, like, what was it? I was going to be roommates in a hotel room with this acupuncturist who was also helping babysit for my son while I was teaching, and he said we were going to be, I don't remember what room it was, he said it was something like we were in room 218, and he said, oh, 218, numerologically that corresponds to heart mediator 8. And I felt something in me go like, what? Tell me, what are you talking about? Give me your knowledge. I want it now. We've got hunger and we've got thirst. I will drink the knowledge right out of your brain. And there are some students who they're almost impossible to look away from, where they will come and they will take bladder 1 and they will rivet it straight into bladder 1 and you and drink the knowledge out of your head. They will sit there in class like this. Pulling the knowledge out. Do you guys know what I mean? They're like, and you just want to give them boots and the whip, and they'll say, "Cut." Because it's on that level of erotic necessity. And I know I did this in herb class the first, I don't know how many times. It's like, I must have this knowledge to slake my soul, and nothing else will satisfy but to know exactly what all of these herbs do. I really respect those students because they are driven, and there is, especially if it's a real Yu Nu annemarrhena, inside this overpowering and hijacking, and it may well be kind of out of control desire. What's underneath that, when it's in service of the heart, is a drive for mastery. That's unbelievable. These are not the students who are going to be kind of decent acupuncturists who get by. They're going to be great. Because their metal, the fire in metal, is this is important. This really matters. That kind of almost on the verge of fanaticism, feeling this really matters. I'm going to get it right. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to be really good at it. And that water sense of wanting that, it's power hungry, sure. It's very power hungry when it's not in service of the heart. And when it's in service of the heart, mastery is a kind of, the hunger for mastery is a mastery for power, yeah? But a particularly heart-centered kind that serves the people, for me or you or anyone, to have the desire for mastery and to put in the work. These, man, Shigao and Yu Nu people, they'll put in the work. They'll work hard. They'll work like a dog. They'll be up all night, studying whatever, doing whatever it is, screwing or eating whatever. It's nice if it's heart-centered. But they're willing to put all other considerations aside to go for what it is that is their hunger, which, when it's heart-centered, becomes the nature of their generosity on a grand scale, and the nature of their desire, which, when it's heart-centered, becomes a will to excellence and a will to mastery, a kind of power that's not dominating, but confers a kind of authority. There was one time when I first started studying herbs with Ted Kapchuk, I don't remember her name, but a woman who sat behind me and Lonnie, who said to us once and discussed, because we were both like, total young punks, nobody had heard of us, and she said, the only reason why you guys have any respect for authority at all is because you want so badly to be one. And we looked, Lonnie and I looked at each other. Nodded. Yeah. That's right. Totally. And we're willing to put in the work. Okay, you want to be an authority figure? Yeah, I'll admit it. I want to be an authority figure. I do. I want it so bad. And I'm willing to work really hard and learn a few things and stick with something for a long time. That kind of drive. It's in there. It's nice to have some people who, hopefully heart-centered, have a drive for mastery and a thirst for knowledge and a sense of fanaticism about excellence. If it's not heart-centered, you're going to be wrecking your biology and out of balance. If it is heart-centered, it doesn't matter how far you get towards excellence, authority, mastery. You've already done something in your body that creates greater alignment, metal, and greater rootedness, and a moving forward into life from this. It's extreme. I mean, both of these are extreme herbs. So when they go wrong, they go very, very wrong. But once the energetic is back, I want to make sure that it's not about how much you attain. It's about your body and what it does for your body to be on the path of mastery and committed to excellence. And in the heart, Shigao, of the hungry huntress, the lioness who's going out for food to feed the people. That changes the body right away.